sharing new music and the news that comes with it. That's what we do on Arrow.net, ARROE.net. We are unplugged and totally uncut with Chaz West from Westbound. Man, dude, you have got some hot music on your hands right now. I got to tell you, before we even get started, Dance of Life, my wife was like going, who is that? Where'd that song come from?
Really? Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, girls seem to love that one. My girlfriend loves that one also. Yeah.
What do you think the hook is? Is it the lyrics or what's flying here?
I think it's a combination, but I also think it's the melody on the chorus is very, very hooky, very memorable. And, the female persuasion seems to really love that. So, yeah.
That's so true because I'll tell you what, one of the things I know that in my years of radio and stuff like that, they've always said, rock is for guys. And I'm not thinking that's true. I think the girls lead a lot of guys to the rock.
Absolutely. I learned that when I was 16, the first booking agent I ever had, 16. And he's like, hey, you guys sound okay. We were just kids. He goes, you look good, too. So you know what? If you look good, the girls will come. Because if girls come, the guys will be there. Honestly, that's what he said. And from that point on, I learned that. It's like image is important. And this is before MTV, I guess right around the same time. But, yeah, this is, before social media and everything like that. So, yeah, you got it.
Wow. I'll tell you what, I fell in love with that video immediately. And the reason why is because I still have my Flying V guitar when I was 17 years old.
Really? Wow.
I cherish that guitar, man. Because it was weird. It was stupid to hold on to, but my God, rockers knew how to play it.
Oh, yeah. And it went out of style for a bit, but it's back now. A lot of people are playing the Flying V again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know. Carlos Cavazo, I used to play with Carlos Cavazo. He was always using it.
Yeah.
And I saw Lizzie Hale is using it now. And Grace Potter. I love her. She's great. So,
well, isn't
it
looks
like a young Nancy Wilson?
Yes, she does. And I was going to say that, but the guitar is just as important as the hair. If you aren't carrying the attitude, then how do you expect people to buy into it?
You're right. You hit the nail on the head. Exactly. Especially, when the video age came alive, it started with that point. Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
The album cover. I have always been addicted to album covers because I'm from that generation, but my God, you guys put some thought into this baby.
Right. Well, it's actually a tattoo that I have on my left forearm. Yeah, it's an English dagger. It's my, heritage is English and with a little bit of Irish and Swedish. But, yeah, I have a tattoo. I'll, if I ever meet you, I'll show you. I'll send you a picture of it. Yeah. So the record company had some ideas, and their main office is based in Italy, and they weren't getting it. They were sending me these pictures. I guess it's the, difference in the language or whatever, but they're sending me pictures of like a wagon train because my last name is West, and I was like Westbound. And it looked like a Wells Fargo, ad or something. And I'm going, no. It's not the, yes, okay, it's a joke, the Wild West or whatever, but no, we're not a country band. We're not a country Western, no. So then I was like, I had my tat and was just kind of, what if it's like a coat of arms? You know what I mean? You see your W.
Well, it totally sets up the branding is what it does because now we expect to see that at every performance.
Exactly. Absolutely. And it's on the backdrop and everything else. Yes, my girlfriend is a graphic artist. And I said, they're just not getting it, darling. Do you think you can help me here? Let's picture this and see. And she came up with the concept. I came up with the concept, but she put it together, graphically, and they loved it. They loved it. Even their lead artist was like, well, she gets first credit, Yeah.
Well, now that I know that it's a tattoo, that it's a tattoo, the first thing it brings back memories for me is Paul Stanley's rose tattoo on his arm. That's the thing people are going to be looking for.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that. And then, of course, there's another one, too. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Steven Tyler's.
Yep.
It's, what is it? He's got the Aerosmith wings.
Yep.
And because when he first came up with the logo. Yeah. Right.
So let's talk about Chili. This right here, there's some future and there's also a past involved with Chili because, this is a brilliant collaboration.
Oh, yeah. Agreed. Yeah, he's my bro for over 25 years. We were kids.
Wow.
I used to live in his house. Yeah, he's Latino. I was the gringo kid living in a Latino household. Yeah.
Did you guys have menudo on Sundays and stuff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. His mom would make menudo, especially like Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah. Actually, it's quite good. At first, I was like, what is it? But then I got to like it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to know what's in it. I just know that it tastes really damn good with a beer.
Exactly right. It's really good. And it's good for hangovers, too. I found that out.
So true. One of the things that I've noticed in the past, let's say past year and a half, is that metal is growing in a huge way. I mean, we just last night just had Motley Crue and Def Leppard and Joan Jett, and they sold out 72,000 people in a stadium. Wow. If that doesn't say that Westbound is on the way, I mean, come on.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I think people are starving for it because they weren't able to get any of it for 2 years almost, And it's a good sign. I totally agree with you. There's definitely a revival in hard rock, heavy metal. And kids now of all ages. And that's why some of these young bands like Greta Van Fleet, I'm grateful to them because they're the same age as some of these kids, like late teens, early 20s. I think they're early 20s now. And so that kids are like loving rock again, and not just hip hop and rap and pop, In fact, my, bassist stepson, he was here last night, and we're in Plymouth, Mass already because we're playing here tomorrow night. And he's just turned 21. And he's listening to all 70s classic hard rock that he never heard before. He's loving it. He's playing AC/DC and, Zeppelin and Sabbath and Aerosmith. And I'm like, this is fucking great. Finally. Gives me hope for the future. And he's going, oh, yeah, man, all my friends at college, we're all listening to this. We're all sick of the rap stuff lately. Yep. It's crap. They're even realizing it's a bunch of shit. It's just repeated the same thing, and it's all sampled, and there's not even any thought into the lyrical content anymore. And I was very, very pleasantly surprised to hear that, to be quite honest with you.
Well, people don't understand that before there was twerking and bumping and grinding, we were all headbanging. And to me, that's where it really happened.
You got it, my friend. Yep, absolutely.
So now,
everything comes back around. It, comes full circle every 20 years or so.
Yeah, but you guys shouldn't have to go through the pain and the promise and all that kind of stuff. It should be that, but have you enjoyed that little area where it was kind of off to the side to where you can, practice new things and kind of steer things in your own direction?
A little bit here and there, yes, true. So you're not under the thumb of the record companies like you used to be all the time, and I still had a little bit of that. But after not being able to do, watch my P's and Q's, but not being able to do fuck all for a year and a half, 2 years, it feels great. And I like being back to working again and being in demand. And I do think it's just gonna continue to get better and build more as far as this genre of music goes. And I think it's just going to get more and more popular and bigger. And just like you said, stadium shows are selling out again.
Yep.
And the timing after a pandemic when everything was shut down, couldn't be more appropriate. Couldn't be a better timing. So yeah.
When you sat down with the song Never Surrender, did you know that it was going to become an anthem?
I get in my head when I wrote the lyrics and the melody. I think the melody first. I was like, yes. I pictured it in my head. Kids, or people, I should say, of all ages, fists in the air, like never surrender, like that. I did picture that. So and I said that to Roy Z, the producer. This could be like an anthem kind of song. I did mention that to him, and he agreed with me.
Yeah.
So, and then of course everything got shut down. So we played it a few times, and then everything was done. So yeah, until just recently. So. Yeah, I did. I definitely, a lot of times when I picture things when I write lyrics and melodies like in my mind, how would this go over live? Oh, yes. Totally. Yeah, right. So
there's no sweeter place to be than inside that engineering room when you complete a song and you're listening to the mix and stuff like that. When you were listening to Never Surrender, was there a side of your personality that goes, yeah, I love me some Gene Simmons, but fuck you, Gene, rock is still alive?
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely.
I mean, because that's all he talks about is that how dead it is. And he's not heard you because it's time for him to discover you.
Right. I met him couple of times.
Yeah.
You know, he acts, Gene is a funny guy. Around everyone, he acts like he's the Pope, you know?
Yep.
I mean, like, kiss my ring, okay? And then away from everyone, he can be actually pretty cool and down to earth. You know, he's basically just some geeky guy that, you know, came up with a great gimmick, and he knows it.
Yep.
And, you know, I remember him saying to me one time, first time, this is behind closed doors kind of thing. He's like, hey, look, I wanted to be Led Zeppelin or the Beatles. This is when I was playing with Jason Bonham. But he goes, but I knew we weren't that good, and we had to come up with some kind of gimmick. That's what he said.
Yep.
I had to come up with something, you know, so.
Did you ever have any conversations like that with Roy Z? Because, I mean, that right there, that's an important step in your process.
Absolutely, we did. Yeah, in fact, it's funny because I was in a band called Tribe of Gypsies with Roy Z. We did we did a few records, but I did one with him. It was called Dweller on the Threshold. And it was a Japanese label. And we went over and toured in Japan with Kiss and Alice in Chains and Paul Rogers. And we were the opening band. So, yeah, we definitely discussed it. Yeah.
So then with your history, you sound so modern, so fresh. So is it because that's what you've learned throughout the chapters, is that it's like, look, we understand what got us here, but I got to make sure that we keep moving forward.
Absolutely. And I told Eddie Trunk that the other night when I was interviewed by him. I was like, some of the biggest yeah, okay, great. With the classic rock, with the Zeppelin and Whitesnake and Aerosmith comparisons and Guns N' Roses, that's great. Absolutely. Older audience, but Dirty Honey, Rival Sons. Now that is more, you know, I love that even more because that's a younger based audience, most of it. Maybe not all, but I'm just saying, especially like Dirty Honey. So yeah, to me, that's just, you know, that's a real compliment, and it gives me hope that, like, okay, we're not just a bunch of old farts sounding like these songs, you know, 20 years ago or something. No, because I have heard, I'm not mentioning names, but I have heard some new material from certain bands, and it sounds very dated. Yeah. Some of it. It's like, you know, did they write this in, you know, 1985 or what, you know? So yeah, right.
So anyway. as you travel across the country, are you starting to see that the regional bands are starting to happen again like they did back in the classic rock days and stuff like that? Or do you see that we're all on equal land and equal respect?
I mean, you're talking about as far as the audiences? Well, size of audience?
Well, music from New York. You knew it came from New York. Music from Detroit. Oh, that's definitely the Detroit
I get what
sound.
You're saying. Yeah. So it's, yeah, okay. Here and there, but not so much yet. I mean, you know, I'd say it's more just, there's more of it, and there's more of an audience love of it, and wanting it, and it's, you know, like I said earlier, a revival. It just seems like it's coming back around, and it started before the pandemic. Then of course everything got shut down, so then it's starting up even stronger now, and you know, it's dog eat dog. You know? But yeah, I definitely see that there's, you know, changing of the guard, say.
So yeah. Where can listeners go to find out more about the new album, the new tour, and more importantly, to buy merchandise? Okay, westboundofficial.com is the website. And that has, you know, the 3 videos on there. And it's got live performances and interviews. And you can order merchandise. If you go on there, it says merch. You can do that also. So westboundofficial.com, and it also links to Facebook and Instagram and all that. Love it. And it lists all the shows that we start tomorrow night. We actually start a few weeks ago in LA because that's where the band's based out of. And we did the Whiskey A Go Go, and then we went to Vegas to my friend's place called Counts Vamps. And Danny Coker, who was on the TV show Counting Cars. Yeah. You know, he and his wife own it. And he's been friends with me. I've known him, over 20 years when I was with Jason Bonham Band. So 25 years. God. we were just young kids then, young bucks. Yeah. Right. So we did that. And then there was like a week break. And then we went last week. We were in the South, Savannah and Charleston. Oh, nice. Yeah, it was nice. And then we had a nice night off in Myrtle Beach. That was gorgeous, right on the ocean.
And that was a lot of fun. And then we just got here to Massachusetts. So we start tomorrow in Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Wow, you bring up Myrtle Beach, and it's like, it's one of those things where it's in our backyard, and and so many people around the nation and stuff like that go experience Myrtle Beach. We kind of shake our heads, going, okay, I get it, but
Right.
but I mean, it's always been that gym for the Carolinas, and then when the rest of the world comes to it, it's like, hey, now.
Yeah, right, exactly. Sure. Now it really catches up. I played there a few times at the House of Blues.
Yes.
It's gorgeous. I love it there. I hadn't been there in a few years, and it was refreshing. It really was.
Wow. Well, we've got to get you here to Charlotte, man, because I'll tell you what, you could rock that place.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sure. We were close. Hey, South Carolina. Exactly. Let's make that happen, Harold, in the fall.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We rock 24/7 in this dang city. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, that's great. Hell yeah. I mean, we're gonna go back out again in October.
Okay.
So yeah, let's make it happen. I would love to
absolutely
come to North Carolina again. Yeah, I played Winston, Salem, Raleigh, Charlotte. I've played all those places. Yeah.
Wow. Well, please come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you, dude.
Thank you, Aaron. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's great talking with you.
All right, bud.
You sound fun guy to hang out with and have a beer with.
Oh man, and when we get into those conversations, I mean, they're deep, and then we start breaking down the music and stuff like that. That's my favorite thing to do. So because I want to hear the passion.
I agree. Exactly. I agree. I love that also. As long as there's a sense of humor involved, yes.
That's right. That's right. Well, you be brilliant today, okay, sir?
All right, my friend. You take care. It's great talking with you. All the best.